All right, so get this. AI that builds your web applications for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called bolt.new, and people are freaking out about it, like really freaking out.
What, like full-blown apps?
Full-blown web apps,
Yeah.
all built right there in your browser.
Wow.
But-
What's got me, though, is how they've combined this AI with a full development setup, thanks to StackBlitz's web containers.
Yeah.
So it's not just AI spitting out code snippets, it's AI working within a platform that actually runs your entire application.
See, that's what blows me away, this full stack in the browser thing.
Yeah.
What does that even look like for someone using this built.new thing? Is it really just thinking up an idea and boom, the AI makes it happen?
It's getting close to that. Imagine, as a developer, all those hurdles you face, especially when you're just starting out. Setting up those local environments, dependencies, servers, all of that. Bolt.new just streamlines everything, gives you a professional setup right in your browser, instantly.
So it's like having a coding assistant who doesn't just hand you a hammer, they build the whole workshop for you.
Exactly. Wow.
And that's where it gets really interesting. The source material mentioned something about environment control for the AI. What does that even mean?
Right. What does that mean?
Well, it means the AI isn't just cranking out code in isolation. It's actually messing with your entire development world. The file system, servers, packages, the console, all of it.
Hold on. So you're saying this AI is basically the project manager, the developer, and the debugger all in one?
It could be.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially deploying to production, managing these insane dependencies, maybe even debugging code, all through like just a chat interface. Think about what that means for developers, new and old.
It's mind-blowing.
Right.
Yeah, but also, I don't know, kind of intimidating. How do you even tell an AI what to do when it's basically building your entire web application?
You have to be super specific.
Yeah.
You want React. You want styled with Tailwind CSS. You want it pulling data from a specific API. You have to tell bolt.new all of that up front.
So it's like having this crazy good intern who just needs super detailed instructions.
Yeah. Gotcha. Even then, though, seems like there's room for things to go a little sideways.
Of course. There's a feature called Enhanced Prompt, right?
Okay.
And that lets the AI actually make your initial instructions even better. It's like having a built-in editor for your ideas.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
That's really smart. But, and I hate to be a downer, bolt.new is still in beta.
True. Yeah.
So what are the limitations? What are the potential downsides here? What are we missing?
Well, for one, it's early days, right?
Right.
We can't forget that it's built on StackBlitz, which is great. It means it has this great foundation. But because it's still under development, it's going to have its quirks.
So like a powerful engine in a brand new car, fun to drive, but maybe don't take it cross-country just yet.
Perfect analogy. But even with those limitations, what it could mean for web development is undeniable.
Okay, so what does it mean for web development? Like, big picture.
It's huge. I mean, really huge. Think about it.
I mean, the idea that AI could handle the heavy lifting of coding is huge, but what are the ripple effects? What does this mean for the industry as a whole?
Oh, man, it could be totally democratizing.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine anyone with a good idea and a little bit of guidance can suddenly build a sophisticated web app.
Wow.
You wouldn't need to spend years learning to code or shell out tons of money for developers. It would really level the playing field for startups, small businesses, even just regular people with a passion project.
Yeah, it's a huge shift, though. Wouldn't that also impact, the need for developers as we know them?
That's the question, isn't it? And the source material kind of hints at some possibilities. So instead of replacing developers altogether, bolt.new might just change what they do,
Okay.
We could see developers becoming more like architects or conductors even, setting the vision and fine-tuning what the AI produces, while the AI takes care of the, let's say, the more routine stuff.
So less time wrestling with code, more time focusing on the big picture, the creative problem solving.
Exactly. And this is where the open source side of bolt.new gets super interesting. See, StackBlitz isn't just releasing a product, they're opening up the whole platform. They want developers to play with the bolt.new code, create their own AI-powered tools, contribute to this whole ecosystem.
Wow. So it's like they're not just building a tool, they're starting a movement.
Right. And who knows what that could lead to? I mean, think about it. When you empower a community with powerful open source tools, history shows us amazing things happen.
It's true.
The early internet, Open source software, bolt.new, could be that spark for a wave of creativity and collaboration, leading to this whole new generation of AI development tools that we can't even imagine yet.
It's like opening Pandora's box, but hopefully without all the bad stuff.
Right, right.
But speaking of unknowns, one thing the source material did mention was this whole freemium model.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? Is using this AI going to cost an arm and a leg?
So the good news is, right now, bolt.new is free to use. They have plans for paid subscriptions later on, but as of now, anyone can just jump in and experiment.
Smart.
It's a good way for them to get feedback, make the platform better, build a community around it before they start charging.
It's like giving everyone a taste of the future and then being like, oh, you like that. Just wait.
Exactly. And what I'm seeing, it looks like the free tier will have some limitations.
Like what?
Like maybe limiting how much you can use the AI or restricting private projects. Paid plans would get rid of those limits and maybe offer extra features like better support or more customization.
Makes sense. Let people play around with the basic tools, and if you want the really good stuff, you got to pay up. But even with the free version, I imagine there are some limitations just because of the technology itself. I mean, it's still a beta.
Oh, absolutely. Bolt.new might be using StackBlitz, which means anything on StackBlitz should work on Bolt.new, but it's still being actively developed.
So you might run into some bugs.
Probably, at least every now and then. It's to be expected with any beta software, especially one this ambitious. But the cool thing is that the team at StackBlitz seems really open to feedback. They really want developers to let them know if they hit any snags.
So it's like a group project to build the ultimate AI development tool.
Kind of.
I like it.
It shows that they're serious about making something game-changing, you know? It's not just about making a product, it's about working together and seeing how far they can push the limits.
It's like they're saying, okay, we built the spaceship, now let's go explore the galaxy. And speaking of exploring new frontiers, it's like we're getting a sneak peek into the future of web development, you know?
Whoa.
It's kind of exciting, kind of freaking me out a little.
A little.
Yeah, like, will I even be qualified to, I don't know, even talk about this stuff in a few years?
Well, maybe you'll have an AI co-host by then.
Oh, no, don't even joke about that.
But seriously, though, it does make you wonder what skills developers are even going to need in this new world, right?
Right. We've talked about how this could open things up for everybody, make it more accessible.
Yeah.
But what about, like, the ethics of it all?
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
The source material didn't really get into that too much. I mean, it's one thing if AI can write code, but what about bias,
Yeah.
you know, in those algorithms?
Yeah.
How do we make sure it's inclusive, used responsibly? Big questions,
Yeah.
especially as AI gets more and more powerful.
Definitely. I mean, we have to think about potential bias in the data used to train these AIs. That's a given. And then transparency, right? How these things are built, how they're trained, that has to be clear.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the big one, how much control do humans really have when AI is calling the shots?
Because at the end of the day, AI, it's just a tool, right?
Yeah.
We're the ones who decide how to use it, where the lines are, and most importantly, how to make sure it benefits everyone, not just a select few. It's a huge responsibility that just keeps getting bigger.
Absolutely. And that's what I find so fascinating about all of this. We're not just talking about some new software update. This is a fundamental shift, you know? How we approach creativity, how we solve problems, even our relationship with technology as a whole.
Yeah, it's a lot. But bolt.new, it's not just a flash in the pan.
Yep.
This could be a turning point, you know, like how we build for the web, period.
Definitely. And hopefully listening to this, people have gotten at least a glimpse of what that future could hold.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So for everyone out there who's been following along, what's the big takeaway here? What should they be really thinking about as we go deeper into this world of AI and web development?
It all comes down to this. Things are changing fast. The future of web development, it's not just about code anymore. It's about collaboration. It's about coming up with new ideas and using these crazy, powerful new tools to build a better, more open digital world.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And that's it for this deep dive into bolt.new and the exciting world of AI. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some experimenting to do.
Right. Go build the next killer app.
Hey, you never know. Maybe all I'll need is a few well-placed prompts.